Hi, it's Carol here, the founder of the Sleep Success Academy. And in today's video, I wanted to ask you this curious question. If you were listening to your sleep or your lack of sleep, what is it trying to tell you? Right? We don't often ask this question to ourselves. Like we're struggling with sleep, and I've been there too. We're struggling with sleep and we're trying to do all these things to help us sleep better, but we're missing the point where that our sleep might be actually trying to communicate with us that something is out of balance in our life. And so that's really what I want to talk about today. How can you help yourself? I'm going to give you a journal prompt to help you get clear with what is getting in the way of your sleep. So the first thing I want to do though is help you get this mindset shift. We want to switch that I'm not sleeping from the what's wrong lens about that, because we can come up with all the things that's wrong about us not sleeping. I'll be tired the next day. I won't be productive at my job. I'll get moody with my kids. My health will suffer. We can find all the what's wrong things about not sleeping, and they are true. But if we switch that to what's right about my lack of sleep, tough question, I know. And this is where in a better sleep community, we would be doing this while we're tapping, right? We'd be going, what's right about my lack of sleep? What is the symptom of not being able to fall asleep, stay asleep, or wake up feeling refreshed? What is that trying to tell me? So maybe it's trying to tell us that I haven't processed all the daily accumulated stress that I'm feeling. Or maybe it's trying to tell me, like in my case, I truly believe that it was trying to tell me that I was doing too much and not taking care of myself, because I really stopped all self-care. I stopped eating healthy. And then my job was overwhelming. I had way too much work to do. And I was a caretaker for my kids that were still teenagers at the time, and my mother-in-law what had a heart attack, and on and on and on. So my lack of sleep was letting me know that I wasn't taking care of me, that I was putting other people's needs ahead of my own. Could I have still done everything and keep my sleep going? Yes, if I would have seen what was right about my lack of sleep and then made some choices from a regulated nervous system, which we're going to talk about in a second, where I still took care of myself and had proper boundaries and asked for support from other people, which are all things I didn't do. So now I really want to talk about the relationship between our nervous system and our sleep, because really that is, no matter what the events are that are happening in our lives, or the trauma or the stressors or whatever you want to name them, right? Whatever that is, what affects our sleep is what it does to our nervous system. And how do we know what it's done to our nervous system? Well, we feel on hyper alert a lot, or we might feel anxiety, or we feel fidgety, or we feel like we can't stand still. In my case, one of the ways I can tell that my nervous system is activated is my mind won't stop. I start ruminating on stuff. I start repeating the same things in my head over and over. And now that's a sign for me that goes, oh, wait a minute. So maybe I'm doing too much, or maybe I'm not taking enough good care of myself, or maybe I'm excited, because excitement can do the same thing to me. And so the more I learn about my nervous system, and this is what we really do in the Better Sleep community, we get in touch with our nervous system to see what's happening in there. We start tracking it, we start befriending it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, okay, I'm realizing that I'm activating and I'm not deactivating as I should. Therefore, when I go to bed at night, my mind won't stop ruminating. It's just telling me that something in my life in this moment is out of balance. So, how can I bring that balance back in? Maybe then it's, and I'm going to use examples that would be for me, but maybe if I was in a job that was stressful, I might ask for support from my supervisor. Or maybe if I recognize that there was just too much on my to-do list, I might ask my husband or my niece who's currently living with us, or some friends, to help me do some of these things on my to-do list because I just can't get to them all. Or maybe I just might choose two things on my to-do list instead of the 20 that are there, and just focus on those two and feel accomplished with that. So that's one of the things that, by really paying attention to our nervous system, getting that connection with sleep means that I now have tools, or like I can come up with tools to help my nervous system come back into balance, so that when I go to bed at night, I'm going to fall asleep quickly. So now We're going to talk about the power of listening to our sleep struggles. Oh, I know. We just want to get a quick fix and make sure that we can fall asleep easy tonight. But if you want lasting change, it's not about taking a sleeping pill at night because that's not really going to do anything to the underlying cause of our sleep issue. But the question that I would ask yourself, or that I would journal on, if you're somebody who likes to do some tapping, you could tap with, is, okay, I have it written right here, a journaling prompt. What might my body be trying to say through my sleep, right? So what might my body be trying to tell me through my lack of sleep? If I go back and I close my eyes to the time that I was stressing, what my body was trying to tell me back then was to slow down. What my body was trying to tell me, and things that are coming today as I'm thinking about it, is I don't need to do the work of 20 people. It's okay for me to ask for support. Those are the things that I wasn't doing that my body was trying to tell me. Now, in this present moment, I'm sleeping pretty good. Last night, I had a rougher night. Um, and so, again, I'm going to ask myself, what is my body trying to tell me right now? Well, just a little bit about my life. We just sold our home. We're currently building a new home. One of my good friends, who's like a surrogate mom for me, she's in the hospital right now. Another friend also is waiting for surgery. And so I have big events happening in my life right now, on top of my work, on top of making sure I make healthy foods, on top of making sure I take care of myself, right? There's a lot happening. And if I'm not careful, my nervous system can dysregulate. Normal. It's what it is. However, I recognized this morning when I did this, because I slept, my sleep was, I still slept last night, but I woke up more often through the night. So first thing, it's normal to wake up 4 to 6 times through the night. Our body does do that when we switch from one sleep cycle to the next. What was different for me last night is that my mind was still ruminating a little bit because I was actually at the hospital yesterday seeing my friend. So coming back from there, recognizing the long journey she has to get better, it just then coming home, me and my husband talking about some of the chores we have to do in the next little while. I didn't take enough time last night to really feel, right, the grief and the loss of my friend in the hospital, which is okay. But I know that today that I probably felt a lot more emotions than I let myself feel yesterday. So today I actually did a meditation and sent her some love, and talked to my husband about her as we were planning other things. And now we have a list. Not a big list, but at least it's out of my head onto paper. And I know that I'm going to sleep better tonight. I know what to do. And these are the things that I teach in the Better Sleep community. It's not about always sleeping good, because life happens, but it's about how can I bring myself back, create this stability in my life so that my sleep comes easy. And that's not always easy to do, but it's possible, especially if you have the right support. So anyway, a whole big video just to actually look at what is your sleep trying to tell you, and how might you be able to help yourself by listening to what it's trying to say. Bye.